The year is 2029. A silent, colossal shadow hurtles through the void, its destination set for a small, blue planet in the Milky Way. On Earth, life hums along, oblivious. People go to work, fall in love, and argue over politics, all under the watchful, unblinking eye of a new star in the night sky. Scientists had named it Apophis, the ancient Egyptian spirit of chaos. They said it would pass us by, a close shave, a spectacular celestial show, but ultimately harmless. They were wrong. The first signs were subtle. Strange atmospheric phenomena, beautiful but unsettling auroras appearing where they shouldn't. Then, the whispers began online. Fringe communities, amateur astronomers, all pointing their telescopes upward, their voices a rising chorus of alarm. They saw what the official channels weren't showing. The object wasn't just passing. It was adjusting its course. But that's impossible, right? Asteroids don't have engines. They don't steer. Imagine you were standing in your backyard. The air grows strangely still. The birds have gone silent. You look up, and the familiar blue sky has a new, unwelcome guest. A tiny, dark speck. But it's growing. Hour by hour, it swells, a malevolent eye. Staring down at the world, panic is a slow-burning fuse that has finally reached the powder keg. Governments around the world, after weeks of denial, finally admit the truth. Apophis is on a collision course. Impact is imminent. The target, a remote, desolate stretch of the Pacific Ocean. The models predict a cataclysm, a wave so colossal it will redraw coastlines, an impact winter that will choke the sun. Humanity holds its collective breath. Nuclear arsenals are considered, then dismissed. The object is too large, too fast. We are powerless. All we can do is watch and wait. Now, the speck is no longer a speck. It's a mountain hanging in the sky, blotting out the sun, casting a premature twilight over the globe. This is it. The final moments. You're with the people you love. Or maybe you're alone, staring up at the harbinger of your doom. The air crackles with an otherworldly energy. The sky turns a violent, fiery orange. A deafening roar, a sound that feels like the planet itself is being torn asunder, fills your ear. The ground beneath your feet trembles violently. Not just a shake, but a deep, gut-wrenching lurch. And then, silence. An eerie, profound silence. The shaking stops. The roaring fades. You open your eyes, expecting to see a world consumed by fire and water. But everything is the same. The sky is blue again. The sun is shining. No tidal wave. No endless night. Nothing. Across the globe, confusion reigns. News reports flicker to life. The object, it didn't hit. It stopped. Just a few thousand meters above the Pacific, the colossal asteroid ceased its terrifying descent, hanging motionless in the sky, as if suspended by an invisible hand. It defied every known law of physics. For 3 days, the world stared at the impossible visitor in our sky. Scientists were baffled, leaders were speechless, and humanity was united in a state of terrified awe. What was it? Why did it stop? On the 4th day, we got our answer. It wasn't chaos that had come to visit. It was contact. Slowly, with a grace that seemed impossible for its size, the surface of Apophis began to shift. Great geometric patterns emerged, glowing with a soft, inner light. Sections of the rocky exterior peeled back like a metallic flower blooming, revealing a smooth, impossibly black structure beneath. It wasn't an asteroid. It was never an asteroid. It was a ship. A transport. A vessel of unimaginable scale, using the facade of a natural disaster as its camouflage. The fear that had gripped the planet was instantly replaced by something far more complex. Wonder, exhilaration, and a new, more profound kind of dread. They hadn't come to destroy us. Their arrival was deliberate, precise, and perfectly executed. They had simply arrived. And 4 weeks, that's all they did. They stayed in our sky, a silent, monolithic testament to a power we couldn't comprehend. We sent signals, messages of peace, questions. There was no reply. Think about it. You go to bed every night with this colossal, alien artifact hanging over you. What do you feel? Is it hope for a new future, a key to the universe, or is it the crushing anxiety of an ant living next to a boot, unsure when or if it will drop? Global society began to fracture under the strain. Some saw them as saviors, gods from the stars. Cults formed, worshipping the silent ship. Others saw them as invaders, a quiet threat. Their silence, more menacing than any weapon. The world's economies stalled. Who could focus on stock prices when the ultimate question mark was hanging right over our heads? Then, they made their next move. Smaller vessels, hundreds of them, detached from the mothership. They didn't land in New York, or London, or Beijing. They descended upon the most remote and inhospitable places on Earth. The deep Amazon, the heart of the Sahara, the frozen wastes of Antarctica, the crushing depths of the Mariana Trench. They weren't interested in our cities, our leaders, or our monuments. They were interested in our planet. Probes and drones, elegant and silent, began a systematic survey of Earth's biosphere. They took samples, water, soil, ice cores, genetic material from the most obscure They cataloged life with a terrifying efficiency. It became clear they weren't here for us, the dominant species. We were an inconvenient, noisy complication in their true mission. We were the tenants in a building that was being surveyed by a new landlord. And what was the purpose of this grand survey? The answer came not from them, but from our own frantic research. By studying the faint energy signatures from their ship, our scientists made a chilling discovery. The visitors were terraformers, planet shapers, but they weren't here to transform Earth for themselves. They were here to restore it. Data from their probes suggested they were preparing to reverse centuries of human-caused damage, re-icing the poles, cleaning the oceans, reforesting wastelands. It sounded like a miracle, a salvation we didn't deserve. But there was a terrifying, logical, and devastating catch. To execute a planetary restoration of this magnitude, the primary source of the contamination had to be removed. They weren't hostile. They weren't evil. They were simply gardeners, and humanity was the weeds. They hadn't come to talk. They hadn't come to negotiate. They had come to work, and the first step was to clear the garden. The silent ship in the sky wasn't a threat of war. It was a notice of eviction. The end didn't come with a bang or a flash of light. It came with the quiet, indifferent efficiency of a problem being solved. The day Apophis arrived wasn't the day we almost died. It was the day our lease on planet Earth expired. This is the kind of story we love to explore here. Histories that never were, and futures that might be. If you enjoy diving into the deep end of what-if scenarios and exploring the boundaries of imagination, then you've found the right place. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss another journey into the unknown. Thanks for watching.